Should you join the board of your condo or co-op building in New York City? We'll discuss this topic in the following video. I'm Nick Housett, based here in New York City. Check out our website, housett.com, to learn how to save money if you're buying or selling real estate here in New York. So let's get started. Joining the board of your building is a great way to influence both the direction and finances of your condo or co-op. Being on the board is particularly important in a smaller building. This is because individual unit owners in smaller buildings feel the financial impact of board decisions much more directly. For example, if the board of a 10-unit building overpays on their roof repair project by $50,000, this costs each unit owner approximately $5,000. If you are in a larger building with, say, 100 units, the individual unit owner's cost of a bad board decision is much less meaningful. Being a board member also allows you to influence the types of projects which the building undertakes. For example, should your building prioritize the installation of a video intercom system, or should they spend the same amount retiling the floor in the lobby? What brand intercom should the building use? Or what tile pattern should be used in the lobby? Will it be porcelain or natural stone? Joining your condo or co-op board is also an excellent defensive measure against troublemakers in your building. This is particularly relevant in smaller condos and co-ops, where one or two owners on the board can make your life a living hell if you happen to offend them. Being a board member yourself makes it much less likely for a board to go rogue and initiate legal action or otherwise behave immaturely in response to a perceived grievance you may commit. Let's say, for example, you just closed on your apartment and you know that several neighbors unsuccessfully attempted to buy your apartment before you sealed the deal with the seller. Let's also say that this apartment you purchased doesn't have air conditioning. So you submit an application to the condo to install an air conditioning compressor on the roof, since you observe that most other unit owners have the same type of setup. To your surprise, however, management denies your request and falsely claims that your installation method is illegal. Now you know that management's rationale is baseless, but since you're not on the board, you really have no influence over management and no ability to command the board's full attention to discuss the matter. You also remember that you're not the board's biggest fan to begin with, since you bought the apartment which a few board members tried to purchase. So in response to this unequal treatment, you decide to install the AC compressor on the roof anyway. In this real example, the board promptly retained a lawyer and initiated legal action against this owner, without even bothering to speak with the owner beforehand to try to resolve the issue. As the dispute grew, the board refused to speak with this owner for more than 6 months, and instead they hid behind lawyers and wasted over $5,000 of the condo's money in legal fees. Now, let's rewind and think. What would have happened in this scenario if the owner was on the board? Would the board still have unfairly denied the request of a fellow board member to install the same air conditioning system which most of these board members already had? We don't think so. Well, these sorts of things actually happen, especially in a small building where one or two owners might have an outsized influence on the board. Therefore, joining the board can actually prevent these types of fiascos from happening to you in the first place. Now let's answer another question. What are the downsides to being on your condo or co-op's board? Well, for starters, it can be a lot of work. The moment you agree to oversee any sort of initiative, most of the time, the other board members will back off and assume you'll do all the work. So you'll want to be very careful what you volunteer to do. At the same time, this can be a really great situation if you have time and feel passionately about your vision for the direction of the building. There's also the issue of having to mediate disputes between owners and other grievances against the building. For example, let's say one unit owner has decided not to pay her common charges out of protest for some dispute she's having with another unit owner. Let's say that this owner now owes over $20,000 to the condo, and the building is also running out of money. Whose responsibility is it to make this person pay? Well, ideally, management is responsible. However, management has very little upside in getting involved and going to war with an owner, particularly in a small building, when that owner one day might be on the board and try to fire management. So management might send an email or two and then give up and simply wait for the board to take care of it. So in this case, one of the condo board members probably has to chase this owner and literally ask for payment. So as a board member, you might actually have to call your neighbor, and persuade them to pay the condo $20,000 in unpaid common charges. Board members also face a remote risk of personal liability in scenarios where the building is sued. Finally, before joining the board, you should also keep in mind that board members are expected to set an example and follow the rules more so than a typical unit owner. So if you plan on engaging in illegal Airbnb activity or holding rowdy parties, you probably shouldn't join the board. In fact, you may be voted off the board if you break any building rules. So there you have it. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. We'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're looking to buy or sell here in New York, check out Houseit.com to learn how to save money. I'm Nick at Houseit, and we'll see you on the next video.